reading the press release from the CFT regarding SZV, the situation of their financials. You mentioned the board. You're in office for about a year, Minister. Why wasn't the, board members being appointed? I think there's one person there now, and this board is supposed to have 6 or 7. What was the delay for the appointment of the board?
With regard to the SZV board, since coming into office, the board was actually functioning with only 3 persons. With the unfortunate passing of Mr. Troy Washington, they end up having only 2 persons. There were nominations sent in from the board. However, the process was not completed. So it was a little bit of a back and forth between my cabinet and myself and the board with getting the right information. We have finally received all the information. We have finally received all the information and the nomination that the board have presented. All of them we have recently approved, with exception of one when it came to the, for example, there was one when it came to, because they gave us 2 options. So all the first options was approved with exception of one with the legal. We went with the second option because that person actually had, the second option actually had a health legal background. So that was the reason. But other than that, the last 2 is currently out and will be, the process already started for the last 2 to make it 7. With regard to the SAHA, I am very happy that the SER has given us the report with regard to the SAHA. I do understand their concerns. I think we went there maybe 4 to 5 times. Personally, I had to go there 4 to 5 times for different questioning with also different Minister of Finance. I believe Minister of Tiat was there once. Okay, no? Okay, so Minister of Finance together with SZV. So the report, basically, there are about maybe 15 points that was highlighted. Those points, we are busy as we speak. A team is busy looking into those points. But another report to be made, we're hoping and we're going to do our utmost best to make sure that it is presented to Parliament by the end of the year for debate and for approval, so that it can be implemented by the beginning of next year. So we're still, that's still the aim for the SAHA, the national.
So in your presentation, so first a clarification question. You mentioned about the repayment of funds owed to SZV and the introduction of a health tax. Could you clarify what you mean about a health tax?
Okay, so basically what we have is we do have a structure amount that we pay SZV on a regular month. I think that was one of your questions that I indicated. We do have a structured payment. SZV in this year indicated that they needed an increase. That increase was also added to that increase was also, the amount was also amended to include the increase so that they could cover their funds. With regard to, for example, we spoke about the tourist levy, the tourist levy. A portion of that amount that the country is going to get is going to be allocated for SZV, for SZV in order to assist with the cost of healthcare on St. Martin. The exact amount is we're still having a discussion, and I guess that was also one of the points from SER. We're busy having a discussion as we currently with finance in order for us to determine exactly what portion is going to be allocated for the health care of St. Martin.
Okay, so my question relates to the SAHA. In previous conversations with different islands around the Caribbean who have moved to some sort of a general health insurance type structure, unanimously their advice has always been make the package as basic as possible, because you're going to have costs that you haven't anticipated, and they've said make the package as basic as possible, get it running. Once you see that it's financially doing okay, you can always add things to that package. But once you've put things in the package, there isn't a politician that will ever remove things from the package. But the current SAHA legislation includes dental, eye care. It includes a whole range of things that are not currently even covered by SZV. Can you explain what things are going to be added to the coverage in the proposed SAHA? Okay. And how do you reconcile that against balancing the budget?
Yeah, that is also one of my concerns when I came in pertaining to what all are included into the SAHA. So that's actually something that we're still up for discussion that I'm busy having with the team now as we speak. so that I can, at a later date, I can probably share that information with you. Allow me as well to, you asked me a question the last time. I didn't answer it in my statements earlier, but I just remembered. You asked, because last time I spoke about the amount that it costs SZV for undocumented who are not contributing into the system. And you asked me for the similar information for the hospital, correct? Yes. Okay. So with regard to that, unfortunately, they don't have it as undocumented, but they have it as the uninsured patients. So they don't differentiate from undocumented or from locals that actually don't have an insurance. The numbers are still alarming. So in 2021, ready? 2021, 8,628,000. 2022, 9,463,000. 2023, 8,729,000. 2024, 9,483,000. So these are the figures that was given to me by the St. Martin Medical Center pertaining to uninsured patients who actually, that's the bills that have been left behind.
So for clarity, in previous statements, you've used those numbers to address your concern about undocumented. But the fact that this is just uninsured, there is a large percentage of the population that is documented, that are Dutch nationals, that are permanent residents, that don't have insurance. Correct. When you have a scooter driver who smashes into another car and doesn't have insurance, they end up at the hospital, and the hospital ends up covering those costs. So it gives a very murky picture.
No, it's
it's
two different numbers. So the numbers that I just gave to you, that's what I explained. The hospital doesn't differentiate from undocumented to residents that just don't have insurance. The numbers that I gave previously, and I have them here as well, the numbers that I gave previously are persons that are undocumented that do not contribute to SZV.
Okay.
So that's where the difference is. I can give you the numbers again if you would like. 2021, 1,876,983. 2022, 2,603,180. 2023, did I say 23 just now or 22? 22. Okay, so 2023, 4,012,156. 2024, 5,603,742. So those are the numbers, and of course, the numbers are alarming either way.
Yeah.
So it's that's one of the reasons why from the very beginning, when I came here and I inquired to receive, I asked about these numbers, I started immediately on a campaign asking people to please, when the persons are working, whether they're undocumented or not, do the right thing, abide by the labor law. The system allows for them to pay for their taxes. The system allows for them to get medical coverage from the SZV. We're asking employers to please do the right thing.
Are you SZV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SZV is cardless. Request your My SZV account today and enter the virtual office of SZV. Go to szv.sx and sign up now.
SZV, yeah, your social health insurances.
24/7 TV programming on www.stmartinmediacenter.com, SXM Daily News, PBS NewsHour, Now You Know, Com programs, documentary, entertainment, sports events, Saturday children's hours, religion programs, and movies. Click on SXM TV broadcast to see your favorite programs.
I am the director of the Meteorological Department, St. Martin, and my name is Joseph Isaac. The installation of a weather radar on St. Martin towards early warning systems, aviation forecasting, short-term forecasting, significant project, and will benefit the region.
Hi, my name is Raitza Narain. In 2021, we updated our national building code to enhance the climate resilience against Category 4+ hurricanes, as well as earthquakes.
Hi, my name is Iliko Gillers. We are currently working to produce a national climate change adaptation report. This initiative marks a major step in strengthening the National Climate Change Adaptation Report. Will deliver a cross-sectoral roadmap and a climate impact atlas for St. Martin.
Hi, my name is Melanie Schwazi. Plastic Free St. Martin is a collaborative initiative around the reduction of single-use plastic and styrofoam and the negative impacts of single-use plastic pollution.
My name is Riddhi Samtani. Every drop of water we protect today are rolling out the St. Martin Wastewater Project. This project is more than pipes and tanks. It's about healthier communities, cleaner environments, and stronger ecosystems.
My name is Alfred Isaac.
My name is Sherwin Frederick.
Our hydroponics trainer project, we were able to yield 215 pounds of produce.
I am the manager of the Public Service Center. The Digital Government Transformation Project marks our transition to a fully digital platform enabling faster, more efficient, and convenient access to most essential government services. It is a bold step toward modernizing public services and enhancing the way our citizens and businesses interact with government, where they will be able to access the services they need anytime, anywhere. Welcome to ESXM, transforming government to serve you better.
The government of St. Martin has embraced the Sustainable Development Goals SDGs 2030 agenda. This is being done by integrating the SDGs into national development planning. In doing so, projects such as Plastic Free St. Martin remain at the top of the agenda, resulting in draft legislation for a plastic-free St. Martin. This project benefits all areas of society and signifies the plight for St. Martin against plastic. It is a project that will benefit not only government, but moreover the long-term well-being of our communities. Another significant project is that of the hydroponics Train the Trainer program, which is established at 9 schools. The project aligns with national goals on agriculture by promoting food security, resource efficiency, and fostering climate change adaptation. Through the hydroponics Train the Trainer program, our teachers and students are exposed to innovative technology and moreover the role of agriculture in food security. The Climate Impact Atlas project for St. Martin, also referred to as St. Martin Climate Impact Atlas, is meant to visualize and communicate how climate change is affecting and will continue to affect St. Martin, particularly in terms of risks such as heat, flooding, sea level rise, tropical weather. This tool will facilitate policymakers, communities, planners, and residents understand vulnerabilities. As the Prime Minister of St. Martin, I pledge that government will continue prioritizing policies, programs and projects that align with the SDGs. Government will continue to strengthen partnership with civil society, the private sector, and regionally. However, government cannot do this alone. Together, we must and we will build resilient communities that in turn will drive our future in a sustainable manner. It is through collective actions that we will continue to move the needle forward for St. Martin.
Happy SDG Flag Day. Happy SDG Flag Day.
Happy SDG Flag Day.
Happy SDG Flag Day.
Happy SDG Flag Day.
Happy SDG Flag Day.
Happy SDG Flag Day.
Minister, so in keeping with your need for
more funding,
there are estimates that the Airbnb, the short-term accommodations, that government's losing around 13 million guilders in tax revenues. The good thing about being late to solving problems is that as a country, we no longer need to be smart.
Right.
We just need to see who's done it, copy what they've done,
and
do better.
Correct.
Barbados has just recently proposed, I don't know if it was actually approved, a tourist accommodation bill, which would mean that accommodations would need to be inspected, they would need to be registered, which would mean that compliance for government in terms of tax revenue would be better. I think it would also improve employment because that gray market employment would have to come above boards as well. There's been talk about an Airbnb committee. There's been talk, but very little in terms of action. And on top of that, it undermines the hotel revenues because they're not competing on the same playing fields. So what, as Minister of TIAD, are your short-term plans to address and perhaps even just copy what other people have done?
That's exactly what we're doing. And you are so correct, Emil, when you say that we are behind, but the thing is you look at the best practices, you look at what went wrong, and you try to create one that can work for St. Martin, that can yield the financial, the monies that we direly need. The idea for TIAD right now is plugging where we're losing money, is plugging, we're busy researching and analyzing where we can bring some meaningful money at the table and looking at how others are doing it, researching. I mentioned it earlier that we're busy right now doing the research and all the administrative work, that and aligning ourselves with professionals that can help us bridge that gap. So TIAD is doing exactly that. We did pay attention to what is happening in Barbados, and you know already I've made some good. I'm very close right now with Minister Chad Blackman that is actually now the Education Minister. He was my counterpart Minister of Economic Affairs. He should be visiting St. Martin, I think, anytime soon, very soon. And these are the kind of conversations we're having, and this is how we, the learning curve that we're following as to what's being done regionally so we can do the same in St. Martin. But with the end game to make sure yield meaningful financial income for the country.
Are you SZV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SZV is cardless. Request your My SZV account today and enter the virtual office of SZV. Go to szv.sx and sign up now.
SZV, yeah. Your social health insurances.
24/7 TV programming on www.stmartinmediacenter.com, SXM Daily News, PBS NewsHour, Now You Know, com programs, documentary, entertainment, sports events, Saturday children's hours, religion programs, and movies. Click on SXM TV broadcast to see your favorite programs.
And I say simply to the sisters in this room and across the world, to those who have emerged as leaders in any sphere of life, those who have dreamed, but against whom the doors of equity and opportunity were tightly closed, those who have suffered or struggled for equality, and indeed the brothers who sometimes worked with us and for us, all whose shoulders we stand upon. And please forgive me if I take this moment, because for me this is a personal journey. And as a young child of 10 years old, when we were meeting globally to deal with the precursor to Beijing, there were people, Caribbean women like Lucille Mayer, like Dame Nita Barrow, like Dr. Peggy Antrobus, and later on like Dame Billy Miller, and the most honorable Dr. Eugene Barato, all of whom made it their life's purpose to be able to create a space for other girls and women to follow. Without them, we would not be here. They were part of the collective movement that carried us to Beijing and that has made for us a major difference. Although our journey has been difficult to this point, it has been worth taking. For while we are deserving of dignity, regrettably, half of humanity has often been left behind. We have so much to contribute, and we have learned so much from Madame Curie in science, from Rachel Carson's environmental thinking, from Toni Morrison's literature, from Shirley Chisholm's fearlessness. We believe that Rihanna and her excellence in entrepreneurship continues to inspire young girls to go where others have not gone before. Women, my friends, truly make life richer, from the homes to the halls of justice, and indeed to this house that we call the United Nations. I come here tonight, and I rushed here to make sure that I could speak, because I wouldn't know how to look in the mirror tonight if I did not speak in this debate. I do not take for granted the route that persons like myself have been able to make, but I recognize that even as we make the big transformations, we need to focus on the small things. We need to give girls the confidence to be able to say no and not to believe that they must say yes every time someone asks of them to do something.
Whilst we have the unity in CARICOM, every nation state in the CARICOM is free to exercise their sovereign rights as they think best.
Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar was clear and unapologetic regarding government support for the United States in Caribbean waters. Speaking ahead of her trip to the United Nations General Assembly on Thursday, she addressed concerns about CARICOM unity and foreign military presence in the region.
At this time, our willingness in accepting the U.S. in the waters of the SouthCom, in the Southern Caribbean, in the international waters, I'm very happy about that. That is my sovereign right for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, many of the other CARICOM nations do not have the carnage we have here. We had over 600 murders in this tiny island state in 1 year. Okay? We have the narco trafficking, the human trafficking, and many other ills that comes from the criminality. Many of those CARICOM nations do not face a similar thing. They don't.
But even despite the stance, the Prime Minister reaffirmed her commitment to CARICOM, saying that unity remains vital.
We'll be united and do better. But where it is that this threat, this narco threat and criminal threat, Trinidad and Tobago is the most hit. We are the most blasted. And we are the most suffering when it comes to that. We can't do the same things we've been doing for 20 years and expect it to change.
But she made it clear that this country simply does not have the resources to fight crime alone.
So this is a game changer in a sense, having help from others who are larger than we are. They have the resources. We don't have the resources. We don't have the resources. We have not had them for the past umpteen years where the crime just ran away. We have to do things different. So to my CARICOM partners or cousins, brothers, sisters in the CARICOM, we love them. We are committed to the CARICOM. So nothing I'm saying is against the CARICOM. It has to do, as I say, with first of all, looking after the safety and security of the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
The Prime Minister was also asked by reporters if there was any possibility of a meeting with US President Donald Trump at the UN General Assembly.
So far, that is not on the agenda, but if it happens, I'm sure we'll welcome it.
Or at the very least, any other officials, especially
Yes, we do intend to meet some U.S. officials. As I say, those are being finalized with the Minister of Foreign Affairs at this time.
Any meetings with Venezuelan officials?
So far, not to my knowledge on the agenda.
The Prime Minister will lead a delegation to New York for the UN General Assembly on Thursday. Sonolala, TTT News.